Good morning, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. Well, looks like the Ukraine is going to wrap up pretty soon. I see a lot of people are jumping ship. Military is collapsing, as I pretty much predicted personally. And Ukraine will be carved up as pretty much most alternative media has expected. And that's a reality that is coming true right now, or will be coming true in this next week. Following that will, of course, then be the pivot to Asia, and the puzzle pieces and everything's moving into place. The Biden administration. Okay, Anthony Blinken, who's the Secretary of State, he made a declaration of war against China in everything except saying that the United States is going to commit military troops to destroy Chinese people. He's done everything else. You can't deny that it's anything other than a declaration of war, and Biden's been around the Pacific Rim trying to get everybody to sign on to it. We're seeing the true colors of various people right now. We're seeing that through using the venue of democracy, the elections are easily manipulated to the favor of the manipulator. And thus, we're getting people being elected that are very strangely pro-American, that are actually from minority parties, or somehow got control of a majority party, but have views that are very pro-American and to the extreme. And then we're seeing their replacements. When the populace gets rid of them, their replacements are then too just as extreme. Just like how Biden ran on this "I'm not Trump" election strategy, and suddenly he got in there and he was exactly like Trump. All of his policies he just adopted and put them on steroids, that's all. So it's just completely ridiculous. And so we're seeing people, whether it's Taiwan, which is probably an identical situation to that of Ukraine, to Korea, of course, Australia, and even Pakistan to some degree. So we're seeing some movement here. And these attack dogs, I can call them attack dogs, they're making a lot of barking and a lot of noise. The United States wants to have them fight China, not China. Do you think China is idiots? Y'all think China is morons? You think China doesn't see all this is going on? You think China is going to waste all its time fighting these attack dogs and not the owner of the house? Is that what you think? Maybe on some tactical skirmishes it will. But there's some kind of this innate belief that America is untouchable, that America is not untouchable. If there is one thing I need to make perfectly clear right now, is America is not untouchable. America's been doing very, very bad things throughout the world. And we're going to start seeing a pivot to Asia. America is going to start pivoting to Asia, and we're going to then see some bad stuff result of that. In the fevered dreams of many a neocon, they believe two things will happen. Number one, that any war with China will be limited to the faraway South China Sea, and will not affect Americans in any way except a switching from Chinese-made products to products American-made or made by American allies. Second of all, that rallying the United States against the enemies of Russia and China will somehow unify the United States. And these two aspects, I am here to tell you right now, are wrong and are false. Those are the obvious objectives. Obvious objectives. You can't deny that. But that's not what's going to happen. Number one, because wars always go different ways. They never go the way you plan. Will not go the way I think they're going to go either. Things will go sideways, not up, not down. They will just go sideways. They will go splat out and messed up. That's just the nature of war. That's the nature. But things are not going to go that way. It's not going to happen that way. It's not. some nasty stuff go down. And the moment it starts affecting Americans personally is the moment that shit is really going to start hitting the fan. You think things are bad now? They're just building up. China doesn't play. It doesn't.
蓝调，天涯海角，多的是纷纷扰扰。江山多娇，引无数英雄折腰。大浪滔滔，行侠仗义问天高。风雨飘摇，江湖的恩怨难消。桃之夭夭，花前月下人逍遥。海阔天空，与风知己千杯少。铁胆忠心，九州西风中潇潇。风雨飘摇，江湖的恩怨难消。忧愁必报，是是非非逃不了。看翻乡愁，剑出鞘，一招拆招。偌大江湖，唯有我独领风骚。天荒地老，腐朽的陈词滥调。天涯海角，多的是纷纷扰扰。江山多娇，引无数英雄折腰。大浪滔滔，行侠仗义问天高。风雨飘摇，江湖的恩怨难消。桃之夭夭，花前月下人逍遥。海阔天空，与风知己千杯少。铁胆忠心，九州西风中逍遥。
one of the things that's going on is the belief that you can cut China out of the supply chain. You can just buy products from Korea, for instance, or buy them from Japan. That's what the Korean leadership thinks, that they can just go ahead. Korea is an interesting subject, and I think there's going to be all kinds of interesting things going on regarding Korea. But as far as products, I can tell you one of my factories makes products for a Korean factory. This is a very profitable TMC, very profitable Korean factory. 90% of it's made in China. And they just put this huge markup on top of it. I mean, huge markup. And sell them. So to a American president or Blinkton, these ivory tower blue bloods, appointed dimwits, they seem to think that these parts are all made by Korea, and so Korea can just continue shipping these expensive products to the United States like it always does, not realizing that Korea makes them in China. So the United States thinks that they're getting Korean products, they're actually getting Chinese products. And that is all down the supply line. Anything you think is made in Germany, it's made in China. You think it's made in Japan? Nope, it's made in China. You think it's made in Australia? Nope, made in China. So what's going to happen? Well, I think that after villainizing China enough and then creating a false flag, maybe you need to do a false flag. I don't think they're going to do a false flag. They're just going to cross a red line. China's going to hit back hard. And then, of course, the already prepared sanctions from hell is going to go. And, of course, China's ready for all this. And if you think things are bad now, you're all worried about gas becoming $7 a gallon. Wait till it becomes $37 a gallon. You think I'm kidding?
啊，是来参选的。 励志，一辈子不后悔。军人伟大，当兵有意义。
骄傲的少年。It starts with 年少的热眼问你们隔壁吃过树冠，店里面的妈妈上场的有三关，叫军长武士老板练铁砂掌耍呀家枪，印地的功夫最战场后军统照片不真。我打开任督二脉，东亚兵法的炸板，已被我出脚踢开。这要少年文化，我是用少年棍，进入军营。
You think this is bad now? You go to store yeah, you're seeing store shelves in the United States that's stocked with this blockade of freight is finally becoming unloaded. You wait until it dissipates. Haven't seen anything yet, guys. China's gonna fuck it. It will be an economic catastrophe. The moment that United States decides to sanction China, they will be writing their own death warrant. It'll be an economic collapse, and all the stuff Michael writes about gonna happen.
我们刚刚取得了全国的胜利，屁股下面的板凳还没有捂热，但是现在有人要把它抢回去，这个不能答应，就是这个道理。
什么冷笑着，评价谁的理由如何？只敢跟我背上我的去较量的，全那个图出去命一个，强不能测，谁是强者？谁在一统武林的资格？什么冷笑着，评价谁的理由如何？只敢跟我背上我的去较量的，全来跟图出去命一个，强不能测，谁是强者？谁在一统武林的资格？生命就该
I don't know how Americans will feel. They'll continue to be inundated with mass hate propaganda. You saw how outrageous it was with the Ukraine. Well, you can imagine it'll be on steroids. And China will be villainized. How long the duration of this will happen, I don't know. But eventually an event will occur, and China will put an end to everything. They have an arsenal of tricks up their sleeves. An arsenal. Certainly there's a military aspect. As I've said before, China owns the Pacific. Anybody thinks that Japanese ships are going to be sailing here and there, and Australian ships are going to be sailing over there, and they're going to be working with American ships going to be sailing over there. That's not going to work that way, guys. China owns the Pacific. How many iPhones do you think are out there? Well, imagine China making iPhone bombs with fins that are sailing all over the Pacific. You guys don't have any idea what the hell you're dealing with. You have no idea. The impression I get is the oligarchs in charge of stuff realized that they totally fucked up. Their plans are not going like they want, and they are really trying to steer things. It's like a car and you hit a patch of ice on the road and you're going and suddenly and you immediately in panic try to steer into the slide. You try to move things around. You try to, but instead of doing it, it's going wilder and wilder and wilder, and suddenly you're going in spins. That's America right now. And this idea of fighting a war with China is not controlling things. It's putting a brake and going to go into a big tailspin over the edge of the bridge. Not a wreck in the side of the road. It's going to be over the bridge. And you're going to go, I really can't tell you too much about Ukraine because I've never been there, and all I get is secondhand. I do know a couple of things that about history of the Ukraine and Russia and Putin, free of all the propaganda, and it's obvious to me that Russia is going to win the conflict. It's almost a no-brainer. The only ones that think otherwise are people who are really ignorant. They're believing the propaganda, who know nothing about Russian history, who doesn't know what happened during World War II, knows nothing about the Crimea, Moldova. And so they're kind of taken surprise. But that's about the most of it. So those commentators that speak with some authority on the Ukraine, such as Gonzalo Lira and Andre at the Saker, yeah, they've got some things to say that resonates with me, and so I believe it. So anyways, the Ukraine war is wrapping up, or entering a new phase, let me put it that way. Eventually, sooner rather than later, you're going to see a pivot to China. Things are already being set in motion. While I can't speak that much about Ukraine, I can speak a lot about China. So when I talk about China, people, you all should listen to me. What have I been saying all along? China, number one, China is not what you think it is. Number two, China is geared up for a fucking fight. Number three, it's a merit-driven society. 4, everybody knows how to fight. And 5, they have this rage thing going on. this internal rage. You flick that switch, you can't put the dragon back in the box. And that's exactly what you're getting. You're getting a dragon, not a cuddly furry bear with a big paw. You're getting a fire-breathing, saber-toothed tiger dragon that flies and is armor-plated and is enormous. But unlike the Hobbit novels, there's no chink in its armor. People say that China is a very peaceful nation, and it's been doing its best to be peaceful. But the entire time it's been peaceful, it's been making preparations. People forget that China has been a nation of 5,000 years of fighting. 5,000 years of fighting. America is what, 250 years old? Fighting in police actions. One of the things that really surprised a lot of Americans who decided that they would go shoot and kill some pesky commies was the fact that they weren't overdoing a police action in Syria. They were up against some hardcore, battle-toughened military that did not play. And they are playing the role of the mouse while Russia plays the role of the cat. And that is what you're going to see what happens. Have you ever seen a cat go after a mouse? Have you? When a cat goes after a mouse, man, and that's China. They do not want a war, but all indications are that they're going to have to deal with one. You think it's what do you think's going on with these SLBM test launches throughout the South Pacific? You think it's just coincidence? China's doing this. We call that flexing the muscles. But instead of the normally understood meaning of that term, China is instead actually flexing muscles, actually getting ready, actually ready to pound the living fucking shit out of the United States. Then it will scarf up and pound the rest of the proxy nations. Oh, it may hit a few of them initially, because after all, America has nuclear weapons based on their soils. But China's going to put an end to that nonsense. I'm going to remind you guys, for you, those of you who don't know, China fought America during the Korean War. China beat the living fucking shit out of America. 90% casualties. 100 people come in, 10 come back, and of that 10, only 4 can walk. America had all these bombs and munitions and everything, and China only had illiterate peasants using cheaply made guns with no food. They still beat the living crap. China right now is not illiterate peasants, underarmed, underserved. Their weapons are actually better than American weapons. They don't need the kind of maintenance. High quality, utility quality, utility grade quality. Stuff that like a plow in a field that you just use over and over and over again and never fucking breaks down. That's China stuff. America stuff is expensive race cars that you shine up and show to everybody else and then run a few laps down the road making all kinds of sounds. But when it comes time to actually traveling cross country in those cars, not gonna make it. China's people are resilient. All of them can remember not having food within their lifetime. They don't want to do it, but if they have to, they are ready for it. As opposed to Americans and those in the West who has lived a cushy life from day one. You guys don't want to deal with China, and I'm telling you that as a fact. So that's what's going on. You're going to expect some stuff happening, and I'll leave it at that. People, knowing this does you nothing unless you're preparing for it. If there is still food at the grocery store, I advise you to buy it. Who cares if you don't want a can of asparagus right now? I would advise you to get it. If you don't have a couple of bags of rice, get another, get in a couple. And if you already have some, get a few more. Doesn't hurt. Okay? You'll know when shit is going down when the internet drops. And people, I believe in you.